What's up, YouTube? This is Bystander X79, guys. Today I'm coming to you with my latest deck profile video for January 2019. Today we're going to be focusing in on one of my favorite rogue decks that has just popped up over the last couple of years, and that's my Pendulum Spiral Dragon deck. Guys, I cannot tell you how awesome this deck does. It can apply so much pressure to your opponent and can OTK them out of left field. It's not even funny. Alright, and another awesome thing about this deck is besides all the nasty tricks and turns this deck can have in it, you can build and play the deck just without the extra deck by itself, and it's an insanely awesome budget deck just to have. Start including cards from the extra deck and you just have a massive toolbox to actually tap into to really give your opponent problems. Alright, I can stand here talking about the awesomeness of this deck, but we got the profile to get to, and you need to know what to include in this deck. So, I'm going to start off with 2 copies of the big daddy of the deck, and that's Phantasmal Spiral Dragon. Level 8, Warrior Tribute, Worm-type monster, 2900 attack and defense. This is the primary card that does the damage to your opponent. The Beat Stick boss monster of the deck, it just keeps getting stronger depending on what you equip or what other effects you have on the field. And I can tell you this right now, running this card at 2 is the maximum number of cards you want to be running, because you want to get as much attack points on the field to put that pressure on your opponent. Alright, speaking of putting attack points on the field, I'm also running 2 copies of the level 6 Frostosaurus. It's a level 6 Warrior Tribute Dinosaur monster, 2600 attack, 1700 defense. And I can tell you this right now, this is a great card to have backing up the Spiral Dragon. The body and attack force it helps give this deck is just amazing. The fact that it's a level 6 can allow you to extend into a particular play that I'm very fond of. That can just help the deck win even more. Alright. Here we go. The level 4 Warrior Tribute Dinosaur monster, Megalo Smasher X at 3 copies. Has 2000 attack, but guys, the fact that you have a water level 4 dinosaur monster just means so much to this deck, especially if you want to extend into the extra deck. Wow. I can't turn around and tell you how great this card is. It's a great play starter. That's why one of the 3 you want to be seeing this. Alright. Now, for the first Pendulum monster we're going to be running, I'm going to be running 2 copies of Dragonhorn Hunter. It's Pendulum Effect. It actually has 2 Pendulum Effects. The first one, Continuous Effect, that basically power boosts all my normal type monsters by 200 attack and defense. Alright, not that big of a boost. It's a modest boost, but you know what? A boost is a boost. And the really cool thing is that its second effect, it's another continuous effect. Basically, I don't take any damage involving battles with my normal monsters, which just makes it even better. It adds that extra layer of protection to my life points that just makes this deck so awesome. Alright. The other low scale I'm running here is Dragoons of Draconia. I run 2 copies of it. Basically, whenever a normal type monster destroys one of my opponent's monsters by battle, I get, after damage calculation, I get to turn around and search my deck for a normal type monster and add it to my hand. This card's Pendulum Effect adds a whole another level of consistency to this deck. It needs to be in here. It's just plain awesome. Alright. Then, of course, we have 2 copies of Sea Dragoons of the Draconia for the higher level scales. Alright. When a normal monster... Well, actually, when a monster is destroyed by battle, you can special summon a normal monster from your hand right to the field. So it doesn't have to just apply to your monsters. You could be, basically, when you're taking out one of your opponent's monsters, you can actually get another monster onto the field and apply that extra pressure. And what's really cool is that if you combine with Dragoons over here, you can actually get the search of this guy and then special summon that monster you searched with his effect. Alright, now the thing about it is that Dragoons is an if, and Sea Dragoons is a when. So basically, Dragoons effect has to be chain link to this card's chain link 1. This way you can get both effects and get that pressure going. Alright, so just keep that in mind when you're utilizing these cards' effects. And the last monster, of course, is going to be Sky Dragoons. And basically, once per turn, when a normal monster you control inflicts battle damage, you can turn on target one card on the field and destroy it. Again, another one effect. So if you're pairing it with the normal Dragoons, this has got to be Chain Link 1 to the normal Dragoons Chain Link 2. But just taking resources off your opponent's field, and this deck's ability to put pressure on the board just adds so much to the deck and allows it to win. Alright, so that's it for the monster lineup. We're going to go right into the spells. This deck searches a lot, as you can see, and because of that, you need to be running Called by the Grave at 3. Alright, the anti-hand trap card can also shut down other monster effects by taking out a monster with the same name out of your opponent's graveyard. Stable card needs to be at 3. Alright, one of the nastiest cards in this deck to play. 3 copies of Heatwave. Activated during the start of your main phase 1. Neither you or your opponent can turn around and special summon or normal summon effect monsters, but hey, I can tell you right now, it's just worth holding your opponent down, especially if you open up with this card, because then your opponent's not summoning anything, and you basically can build your field and go into their life points on your next turn. So awesome. Alright. Now this is the heart and soul of the deck right here. 3 copies of Pacifist, the Phantasm City. Alright. It counts as Yumi while it's face up on the field, which is very important because the Phantasmal Spiral traps require Yumi to be on the field. Excuse me. Alright. You can't normal or special summon effect monsters to turn you activate this card's effect. Bit of a downside, but it's alright. Whenever you normal or special summon just one normal monster, you can search your deck for a Phantasmal Spiral card, which is just huge. Get the traps or the equips out of the deck ASAP. And if your opponent activates a card or effect, and you don't control any tokens, you get to special summon a level 8 Water Attribute token that has 2,000 attack, 2,000 defense. So getting that extra buy on the board just can allow you to do a whole lot of things. And considering that the token counts as a normal monster, you're going to get a search off of that summon as well. So, just plain awesome card. Alright. The equip, basically, Phantasmal Spiral Crash. You equip this to a normal type monster. It attacks a defense position monster. It can inflict piercing damage. And when you inflict damage, you can actually turn around and special summon out the big daddy of the deck, Phantasmal Spiral Dragon, to the field. Equip it to this card. Equip it to the new monster. And then you can turn one of your other opponent's monsters that can be turned into defense position and you can attack there, thus allowing you to inflict more damage through piercing damage. Alright. The equip that you want to see here is Phantasmal Spiral Grip. It power boosts any normal monster equipped with it by 500 attack. When the equipped monster destroys a monster by battle, guess what? You're special summoning out your Phantasmal Spiral Dragon. You're going to equip it with this card. You're going to hit your opponent with 1,000 points of damage. And then your powered up Spiral Dragon can then attack as well. So awesome. That's why we run this card at 2. Alright, we do run some dinosaurs here. So we're going to be running 2 copies of Fossil Dig. We have 2 copies of Pod Duality. This allows you to dig into your deck by 3 cards and get the card you need for the particular situation you're in. And last but not least, you want to see your field spell, so 2 copies of Terraforming. Alright, on to the traps. We're running 3 copies of Phantasmal Spiral Battle. Alright, as long as you control a normal type monster, you can activate this card, target one of your opponent's cards, and just pop it. If Yumi's on the field, you can activate it right from your hand and pop a card. And really cool thing about it is that while this card is in the graveyard, you could banish it and then target one normal monster you control and equip that normal monster with all the other equip spells onto it. Now this is actually a very interesting battle trick that I like to do with this deck. Just by banishing this card from the graveyard, I can switch and equip like Spiral Grip to a weaker normal monster onto the field just to give it a power boost, so my opponent won't be able to swing over it that easily. Very, very useful. Alright. I run 2 values of Phantasmal Spiral Power. As long as you control a normal monster on the field, you can activate this card, target one of your opponent's effect monsters, and negate that monster's effect for the rest of the turn, and also loses 1,000 attack points, which is just huge. Again, if you have Yumi on the field, which is the city, you're going to be able to activate this card from your hand. And if, while this card's in the graveyard, you can banish it, and then you can actually equip one of your equip spells that's either in your hand or the graveyard to a normal monster onto the field, which is just awesome. Alright, and last but not least, we have 2 copies of the Continuous Trap C Stealth Attack. I mean, this is just plain awesome. Alright. Alright, when you add this card is activated, you can activate a Yumi from your hand or graveyard. Phantasmal Spiral City. Yeah, Pacifist is Yumi while on the field, so yeah, awesome. Or in the graveyard. Alright, once per turn, you can banish 1 water monster on your field, and this card protects all your back rows, which is awesome. And the other thing about it is that, while at the start of the damage step, if your water monster whose level is 5 or higher battles with your opponent's monster, you can just destroy that opponent's monster right then and there. It basically turns any of your high-level water attribute monsters into a catastrophe, which is just huge. And that's the reason why we run 2 copies of the Big Daddy and 2 copies of Frostosaurus in there just to make use of this effect. The tokens also are counted as normal, so that means, and water, so that means you can actually have at least 6 options, or yeah, at least a minimum of 6 options for that catastrophe effect. That's the main deck right there. We're going to go into the extra deck. And the real cool thing about this extra deck is that you don't really have to play it, but this is a major toolbox for the deck. So I'm going to start with the links, and of course, running Pendulums in this deck, you're going to have to run Heavy Metal Foes Electromite in there. It's just huge and adds so much play power to any decks that has a Pendulum engine in it. It needs to be here. Alright. Link summon this card, you can get a Pendulum monster from your main deck into your extra deck face up, which is cool. You can pop a card on the field, get a face-up monster from your extra deck, Pendulum monster from your extra deck, add it to your hand. Awesome. And if one of your scales leaves the field, you get to draw a card. So this adds so much to this deck. Alright. Since the majority of the monsters in this deck are water attribute, 2 copies of Me Star Boy, just to power boost them up. And if they go to the graveyard, you get one of those water attribute monsters back from the graveyard to your hand, which is just huge. Alright, and to round up the links, I run the Burrow Brothers. Burrow Low Dragon to break fields, and Burrow Sword Dragon to OTK my opponent. That's it for the links. For the Xyz plays, 1 copy of Abyss Dweller. Takes 2 level 4 monsters, but if it has a water attribute monster as a material, it power boosts all water attribute monsters by 500 attack and defense, and who doesn't love an extra water attribute boost? Alright. I run the Bahamut Shark package. Basically, 2 Megalo Smashers makes him. Detach 1, you get totally awesome for extra negations and controls. Alright. Evil Swarm Excitonite, or Excitonite. Help nuke the board. I do run a small Volzar package. A Volzar Doka negates monster effects, while Logia is basically a walking Solemn Judgment. I also run a Utopia package in there because this is a rank 4 play that just helps wins games. And speaking of Utopia, I also run the rank 6, number 39 Utopia Beyond. 2 Frostosaurus makes this guy up, and when this guy hits the field, every single one of your opponent's monsters, their attacks are bottomed out permanently. Yeah. Makes it a lot easier just to go right into your opponent's life points. This card is so good. And the rank 8 play, if you want to go into that, is number 38, Hope Harbinger, Dragon Titanic Galaxy. Get this guy in the field, and you can basically just sit there and negate your opponent's spells, add materials to it, so we can protect your smaller monsters. Alright guys, that's it for my Pendulum Spiral Dragon deck profile for January 2019. As always, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this on my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Enable notifications so you don't miss a single upload. And guys, until next time, peace.